Is a little cooler
Yes.
in the 70s and 80s. Next weekend, though, we're looking at triple-digit heat. So as temperatures are soaring this summer, we actually have to keep our eye on our little furry friends of ours while the temperatures rise.
Just like Coco over here, we're joined by Dr. Ruth MacPete on how to keep pets safe this morning. Ruth, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Introduce us to your little furry family member right there who seems to be all dressed up in his summer heat gear, right?
Yes, this is Jet, and he is wearing a whole bunch of cooling products from Canada Pooch. They're great because they help keep your pets cool by dissipating heat when they're wet.
Yeah, you know, Dr. Ruth, let's talk about pet safety when it comes to dealing with the heat here, because here in Sacramento, we get temperatures straight into the triple digits, but sometimes people don't know the signs. What do we need to know to keep our pets safe during the summer heat?
Well, there's 5 things that I really recommend people keep in mind. The first is to keep your pets inside when it's hot. Whenever possible, you want to keep them inside where it's nice and cool. If they have to be outside, make sure that they have access to shade and plenty of water.
And I know you also mentioned, try to avoid excess exercise, check the ground before you go. And your dog,
Yes.
Jet, right there is wearing some get-ups. And I noticed the paw, I guess the paw mitts.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, he's wearing booties. These are really important. And one of the things I recommend that you said is to check the ground before you go. When it's hot outside, when we have triple digits, the asphalt, cement, and sand can get so hot, it can actually burn your pet's paws. So you want to protect these feet. If they have to go out when it's that hot, put booties on. These booties are made by Canada Pooch. They're great because they cinch down and they actually keep their feet cool because they can be wet as well. But the main thing is that they're going to prevent them from burning their pads on the hot pavement.
Do you also recommend, I've seen them in stores and online as well, the cooling vests? Do they actually help the dog stay cool during the summer?
Yeah, that's what Jet's wearing right now. Cooling vests, the way that they work is that you wet them and then they work by evaporation. So they dissipate heat through evaporation. So as they start to dry out, they're wicking away the heat. So they work very well. And a lot of runners will use them, running shirts as well. But remember, you have to keep them wet. It's really important that they're wet. Canada Pooch makes a number of different things. They have a cooling hat, as you can see, cooling bandanas, cooling vests. Again, make sure it's wet. It doesn't work if it's dried out. And you want to obviously avoid excessive heat. So make sure you're not taking your pet on a long hike when it's hot outside, because pets are more sensitive to the heat than we are, and they can easily overheat.
Yeah, I want to talk about comfortability too. Ironically, our pal Coco here in a jean jacket and very comfortable. How about, I mean, it looks like your puppy is loving every bit of it. It doesn't seem like he's bothered at all with what he has on his body.
No, not at all. But great. I'm glad that you mentioned clothes, because one of the things I do see a lot is I'll see people out with their dog in a sweater or a hoodie when it's hot. This is not a good idea. You don't want to dress your pet unless it's a cooling product when it's hot outside, because you're just adding extra layers that can make them too hot. So it's okay if they're inside in a studio where it's nice and cool, but if they're outside and it's hot, you either want them to be naked or have cooling products on that can be wet so that they stay cool.
Yes.
Got it.
And you know, Dr. Ruth, of course, dogs have to go out and do their business. So sometimes in the afternoon, it's hard to, avoid staying in. What are some of the obvious signs or symptoms that you may have been out a little too long, or that your dog might have been overheated, by taking them out?
Yeah, great question. The signs of heat exhaustion in dogs are going to be excessive panting, if they're drooling, if you notice that they are reluctant to move, they won't move anymore, they're collapsing, they can have vomiting, diarrhea, bright red gums and tongue. And this can actually progress to seizures and death. So it's really important that if you see any of these signs, if your dog seems fatigued, they're excessively drooling or panting, get them out of the heat, put some cold water, cool water, not excessively cold. You don't want ice to cool them off, get them in the shade, and get them to a vet right away.
Awesome. Well, Dr. Ruth, we appreciate you bringing us these safe and helpful tips as these temperatures heat up for our furry friends. Again, you can see it right there keep your pets inside. And one other thing, too, is never leave your pet in the car. That's something that we got to remember not to do. But Dr. Ruth will have her website on the screen if you'd like to learn more about a lot of her helpful tips and information. She's been working with pets her whole life. There you have it. Dr. Ruth, there's it. I can't see it right there. What's the website one more time?
drruthpetvet.com.
Petvet.com. There you have it. And again, we want to say thank you to Jet for joining us. Looks like he's enjoying
Thank you, guys.
make sure
Everybody stay safe and cool this summer.
And make sure you call us when you make this for humans.
Sounds good. All right, we got more coming up. Stay with us. We'll be right back.